leg setter.
I see some gas on the hips. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody. Dig, drop. You're finished. And burn down. These are weird, kid. Worse than that, sir.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we are, hanging out late night style at the After Hours Jets Fest. Let me fix this thing over here. We go. Hello. So I'm GreenBean, After Hours Jets Fest, where we follow up the Talking Jets panel, 2 hours with the great Matt O'Leary and the totalitarian Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Now this is where we just it's like an after show. You know, that's why we call it the After Hours Jet Fest, where we just kind of drop our hair, slow it down, talk a little bit about some of the topics that we discussed earlier, maybe some new topics, and whatever else might come to mind. And I'm happy to be here with you. I will say, I thoroughly love talking football with you guys. The part of it that I don't love is that since I've been doing this, you know, I started with Jetnation like 5 years ago, as far as the video stuff. And I was with Jetnation for a solid year and a half before I created my channel. Then I did both for a while. You guys remember that? Where I would still make videos for Jetnation. Then we did the live reaction streams. I would simulcast it on my channel and Jetnation. And the last couple of years, I've been solo over here. We've never had a winning organization. We've won some games. So like this entire content creation world has been riddled with failure, disappointment, anger, sadness. And I've grown weary of this dynamic that we have. You guys deserve better. Jimmy, that's right, man. Nobody, not nobody, but a lot of people don't like when I start dropping fact bombs. You know what I mean? Right, Jimmy? People get mad. People get upset with me. Big Green knows. Big Green is the man. I met Big Green when I was on the road in my RV. Me and Big Green got together in upstate New York there. He's driving back from Plattsburgh, went to the reservation to save some money on the smokes. I know that. I spent 16 years in South Florida. I smoked for much of that time, and I had the Seminole reservation right next to me. I lived on it almost, and so that's where like the Seminole Hard Rock is. I was right there, and we would go there and do the little drive-through, the smokes, and save a bunch. But nobody likes the facts, Jimmy. Doug's here. Look at Doug. Don't die, Big Green. You're going to live forever, my friend. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Oh, that's me. John Carmen is here. Part 2 of the Bean Rant. Right, man. Greg Rallo says it's Bean again and he can't be froze. That's right. Oh, I'll tell you what. The freeze bean thing, the whole freeze thing started, if you remember, Greg, with my travels. I never knew what internet I was going to get. Sometimes I was on a farm. Sometimes I was in the mountains. You know what I mean? So we just never knew. Remember there were streams I did where like Ryan goes, wait, hey, did a llama just walk behind you? I'm like, oh yeah, there's llamas over there. Llamas and goats. You know what I mean? So we had all that kind of stuff. So I never knew. So some of I recently went back and watched a couple streams and it was brutal. Like the freezing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how you guys stuck with me. If I would have found me, I'd be like, I can't watch that guy. I can't do it. You guys, I commend and I thank you guys. So Ryan made like the freeze bean emoji. Remember in middle of the stream, I'd be like, and we just dealt with it. You guys are the best. The Ryan and Matt, I don't know how they did it either. They had to have talks on the side without me. Like, dude, how much longer can we deal with this guy? How much longer can we endure this baloney with this guy? So that's where it all started, and it just developed. freeze bean, and then Ryan did the whole freeze thing. It's like, it's incredible. And Jets playing the drums. Bum, 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 right? I know how you're doing it. Scott's here. We paid money to sit in the rain to watch Sunday's shit show. How much? Oh, who paid money? Everybody paid money. Everybody paid their money, man. And worse than the money, Scott, is the time. Like, if you don't, you look, if you've gone to games, especially since it's been MetLife, which in my opinion is significantly worse than when it was at Giant Stadium. Like, there was always traffic, don't get me wrong, but since MetLife and Xanadu or the American Dream Mall, like, since they did all that, it is brutal. So you got two choices. One is you commit yourself to the day. You get there early. They open the gates at 8 a.m. and you get there before 9:30, 10 latest, and then you kind of get in there smoother and you spend the whole day. Or you can say, I don't want to spend the whole day and wait till 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock kind of a thing. And then it took my sister an hour and a half to get from the traffic out front to out of her car. So it's like, one way or the other, there's your time. And then going into the stadium and you got the 3-hour plus game, and then walking out is a debacle. MetLife, and I don't mean to make this like a complaint thing, but it's like MetLife really isn't a conducive stadium. Like Giant Stadium, there were 3 escalators, one to the lower level, one to the mezzanine, one to the top. And then there were the turnstiles, if you want, not the turnstiles, the circular walkways. If you wanted to walk up or down, if you didn't want to stand online and wait for the escalator or whatever it was. Simple. MetLife is not that way, man. You take one escalator to another escalator to another escalator, then you got to go up some stairs. It's like, and then there are like on the 100 level, if you're here, if you go up the wrong escalator, you can't walk around the stadium till it's blocked off by suites, and you got to go back out and go outside and go up another. It's really not a very well organized place, in my opinion. It's probably really nice for the millionaires, right to their suite, escalator right to your door, but everybody paid. And it depends you're not getting in there for less than a couple $100. The parking pass is ridiculous. You got to pay that. You can't just pay parking when you get there. You got to have it beforehand. Like they did that. So I don't know. Rudy's here. Get out of here. You can't. We're not allowed. It's like, we're stuck, dude. I don't know who can do that. Like I know people, they just front run. They jump on teams. Like, I have pictures of them younger with, Redskins jerseys or Cowboys jerseys. And then there's Niners jerseys. It's like, there are people that do that. And that's probably a better life. I'll tell you that. But I don't know. Jets forever. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. And Mr. Two's here. Mitt Flair's in the house. Look at all you guys. Happy Tuesday to you, buddy. Sports highlights from Daniel Berry. Let's see. Shivanasu Prasad, better known as Lima Bean in certain circles. Thank you. He says, you and Testaverde shouldn't go to games. Yeah, dude. What's with the honoring of Testaverde? Can we get over this Testaverde thing? Now, granted, it wasn't just him. There was a whole bunch of people, Gastineau, Mangold, Wesley Walker. So many people were there. It was great. But it's like, can we just stop? Like, can we do something before we continually honor people? We haven't never won a Super Bowl in my lifetime. Can we just stop with the honoring? Can we just focus on the thing that the job at hand? Can we just do that, Lima Bean? Hey, Mitch coming in. Thank you, buddy. The $20 super chat. I got a bug in here. It's been bothering me all night. I'm going to get him. Pleasure to finally meet you in person, GreenBean. I know. Hey, Mitch, you're awesome, dude. That was great. I love when you guys tell me the name that you are in the chats, because a lot of people will do that. They'll go, hey, I'm David. And then I talk to them for like, oh, hey, David, how you doing? And we chat for a little while. And then I find out 2 hours later, oh, I'm Blitz Crew. It's like, oh, dude, I don't, Sometimes I'll say straight up, like, who are you in the chats? Sometimes people, they go, I'm not in the chats, so my name's Mike. Okay, Mike, that's the different story. I say fire Salah now and get it over with so we can make the playoffs after Q5 years. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. Again, I'm not calling for Salah's head. It's very rare that I do that. I did it for Adam Gase. I never wanted Adam Gase in the first place. When we hired him, I thought it was like a Twitter, like a troll thing. I couldn't believe it. We had Mike McCarthy and Matt Rule, who I thought both could, were quality I was a Mike McCarthy guy. But Matt Rule at that point had rebuilt two smaller schools, Temple and Baylor. But rebuilt their franchise, their school or their organization to success. So I was like, all right, well, hey, natural lineage, upward. And, Mike McCagnon wanted him to hire Adam Gase as an offensive coordinator, and he wanted Greg Williams as a defensive coordinator. So we wanted to hire the coach. We wouldn't let him pick his staff. He called his friend Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells said, you got to be kidding me. I would never take that job. There's no way. How do you know if you want to work with those guys? But I'll tell you, as far as Salah is concerned, while I'm not calling for his head, I think it's time that they sit down with him and go, look, you need to present to the team your testicles, okay? You need to show them that you have balls and that you have fed up. Your job is on the line. Your job, not just theirs. Your job. We are looking. We see problems. The fans see problems. Every talking head in the country sees problems. The only one who's not doing anything is you. You somehow think you know better. You have no success in the league as a head coach. None. You had a viable excuse, the quarterback thing. That shit's gone. It's about coaching right now. You look at the offensive line, we got 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, a Hall of Famer. Like, you know what I mean? Now, not to say that they're not going to get beat or that they're not at fault that time, but whatever's going on there is coaching. Those guys are studs. AVT's a stud. Tippmann's a stud. Tyron Smith is a stud. Morgan Moses, when he's playing, is a stud. Olu Fashanu is a first-round pick. Best pass protector in the draft. Jonathan Simpson, I wouldn't, I'm not going to say he's a stud, but he looked real good in Baltimore, and he's got that aggressiveness. He's another one. They should be playing better. Now, it'll take them time, but if they're having issues, like the offensive line has had issues for years, it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, hey, so thank you, Mitch. I'm with you. I'm not saying 5, but I'll tell you what I will say. If we go into London and we get embarrassed, it's got to be on the table. Seriously, you need to do something. You need to shake it up and say, guys, not good enough. We're not doing status quo this year. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got talent all over the place. There's a major disconnect. Everyone's job's on the line. Enough is enough. I know. Yeah, and you're right. Dude, I haven't seen a victory since 2015, so the record speaks for itself. I'm 1-14, dude. I'm actually 1-15 because I went to 2 games last year. I don't see wins. I don't see victories in that stadium. I think there was 1 year in there I didn't go, so whatever it is. I've only seen 1 victory in 9 years. And I've only seen 1 touchdown, offensive touchdown, in 4 years. So wasn't that like the first game in Aaron Rodgers' career that he didn't throw a touchdown in a home game? Isn't that the first time? Like, I'm at a historic game again for the wrong reasons. I can't stand it. So I'm with you, man. Wyatt checks in. My buddy Wyatt, the wayward Jets fan himself. First Jets game, and that was the shit. Sat in the rain for 5 hours, longer than that because he was with me. I drove him in, so he was in my car. So he 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Poor guy. The vice president, I love you, Bean. What I mean, you can think you can. I mean, you learning anything? These debates. I don't know. Hey, I hear you. Go your priorities are your priorities. You know, I'd rather talk about the loser Jets. Come on with this bug. You know, like flies, they got a lot of gumption, don't they? So let's see what else we got here. But I'm with you, Wyatt. I don't care what anything. I just love you. I just love you. I love that you were there. I love that you made it home safely. That's the most important thing. W.L. Graves checks in. So our coaches could immediately step into Pop Warner Kitty football teams and bring home a trophy. They probably could. You're right. That's a good point. Very, very strong point, Mr. Graves. That's great. So, yeah. Jets Forever, our good buddy, checking in, says, I'm fed up with this coaching staff. Well, and I think that's the thing. Like, look, I understand. You guys know me by now, most of you, right? If there are new people in here, nice to meet you. Thank you very much. If you're listening on Twitter, you're checking me out for the first time, thank you. I consider following me on Twitter if you're doing that. It's greatly appreciated. If you be so kind as to hit the like button and the subscribe button to the channel, that's also great. Greatly appreciated. Milk thumbs, as we like to call it here. Milk thumbs. I don't know what that is. But like, you know, I'm not a negative guy. I can be negative if shit's like, if I'm looking at a burning house and I go, the house is burning, stop being so negative. Like, you know, I can only see what I'm seeing. Like, I didn't create the scenario that watched our great Hall of Fame quarterback get sacked 5 times and hit 14 and hard hit. JFM late hitting them, not getting the penalty. JFM touches anybody as a Jet, he gets a damn roughing the passer. Aaron Rodgers actually pushed him. Like, dude, what are you doing? You see that? So, you know, at some point here, like, you know, you see what you're seeing. Like I said, like this cycle, I have defended as best I can. Now, I've never been all that much of a solid guy. I give him credit for the defense. His defensive prowess is undeniable. Fair? Now, granted, he's got 7 first-round picks on the defensive line. He's got Sauce. He's got C.J. Mosley. You know what I mean? He's got first-round picks all over the place. So there's that. There's that. But I think the development of Quincy Williams, Michael Carter, Brandon Eccles, like these are all mid to late round picks. And they're doing great. Like his defense, I don't think that's in question. And I'm grateful for that. And I think that's a definite feather in his cap. At the same time, that's not his job. His job is to run the team. Our offense, he's on his second offensive coordinator in 4 years. He's on his, you know, I mean, well, Zach Wilson primarily, but he's had numerous quarterbacks. Mike White, Josh Johnson, Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian, Joe Flacco, Tim Boyle, now Aaron Rodgers. So, like, at what point? Myriad offensive linemen, myriad running backs, numerous wide receiver tandems and combinations. Like, at what point do we just say, dude, enough is enough? Like, our window is now. And if you can't figure that out, if you're answering questions about why you didn't try Braylon Allen, like, look, I get it. Your Brees is our bell cow. He should absolutely be able to do it. I got faith in him. I'm with it. I'm with that 100%. But he was clearly not a hundo. You used 2 plays. On the third one, when you got to get it, we got 3 feet. I'm going to bring in the 240-pound running back who's 20 years old, fresh legs, fierce, and I'm going to pound him. I'm going to send Ruckert up the hole, and I'm going to send Braylon Allen up his ass. That's what I'm doing. Or I'm running him to the corner. Why didn't we try that? Just pitch it and run him to the corner. could try that. No, we throw it with fucking the Solomon Thomas. Like, I don't understand. So, like, there's like, again, when you hear that, Jets Forever, like, we'll look into that. We'll look into, like, I just don't want to hear that. Now, I don't believe that that's the first time he's considering it. Like, it took a Connor Hughes or whoever asked the question for him to go, huh? I don't believe that's the case. He's just giving you the answer. But at the same time, you know, I would answer the question like, you think we didn't think about that? You don't think we thought of that? We thought Breece Hall gave up. Like, commit. You made your decision, support it. Now, like, we'll look into that. Or the comment about, you know, when players are not being held accountable, he said, and I'll paraphrase, but he said essentially, guys know they made mistakes. Guys know when they mess up. They don't need somebody reminding them and telling them that they messed up. They need somebody to help them fix it. Now, I like that in theory, helping them fix it, but they need to also know that one more of those, I don't give a shit about fixing it, you're out. What's up, Jimmy DeCaro? I see you, buddy. Dakota's here. I see you guys. Wild Wave in the house. Look at you guys. Yeah, Wyatt's the ever positive. Why? Well, and I told Wyatt, I said, you know, Wyatt's like, you know what? I think, you know, he's being positive and constructive, which I appreciate. But I just told him, I said, dude, you're new. You're fresh. My third or fourth year as a Jets fan, we're going to be able to gather the troops. And I was there too. I get it. And I'm there most of the time. This one hit me. Number one, because I sat there, my daughter's first game, everybody, the meetup. We should have beat this team. There's just no doubt in my mind. So there's all that stuff, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just tired of losing for the same sloppy reasons. Penalties, miscues, mistakes, fumbles. Like, I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. So I'm going to bitch about it. Now, by Thursday, I'll be looking forward and I'll be saying what I can say. Modine, just get out of here, fucking butthole. You know what I mean? Give us a breath from your baloney. And I don't even know what you're saying. You can be being all positive, but I don't want your positivity either, Modine. I don't want Modine's garbage, and I don't want him to be nice. I just don't want it. You know what I mean? I want to be left alone with my Jets fans. Bastard. Joe the Jet G checking in. I'm not giving up yet. Yeah, I'm not giving up either, buddy. I'm not. I'm really not. But it doesn't see like this idea that two things can't be true at the same time. Like, you can still believe in the team and be unhappy with decisions they're making at the same time. You know, I think this recent societal, you know, overarching theme is like, if you're this, then you can't be that. I don't subscribe to that. And not that you're saying that, I'm just saying, you know, and as a response, but it's like, you know, I believe in the team so much so that I think whatever the fault is, why this team isn't humming, I want acknowledged and fixed. That's really my main gripe. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to get that off. Hold on. See, because I like to gripe intelligently, you know. Andrew, thank you, Andrew. I like that. That's good. I like being the man. That's it, Project Prospect with Dom C. And he really wants him to win in London because he's friggin' flying out there. You think I want to send Dom C out to London as our Jet fan representative for our section of the Jets fan base and watch him be miserable with his beautiful wife? No. I want Dom to go out there and have the best damn trip that he's ever had. That's what I want. But I'm sorry, Dom. It's looking uphill at best. You know what I mean? Lima Bean checking back in. I'm not superstitious, but you going to games scares me record-wise. Every time Vinny is there, he gets hurt. Please, he lost the Broncos. Dude, I'll tell you, I don't discredit you for that take. The good news is I only go to one a year. Last year, I decided to go to two. The first ever Black Friday game, I had to go. I brought my buddy for his 50th birthday. He's a Dolphins fan. We used to go to every Dolphins Jets game together for years and years and years. When we were teenagers till our late 20s, you know? I thought, what a great thing. We'll go there. We'll kick their ass with Tim Boyle. I'll tell you, it's brutal. So I'm with you. I'm telling you, you're making sense to me. I said it numerous times. I said, I don't know why I come here. The only reason is because I get to hang out with you guys. That's the only reason. That's the only saving grace, is that I at least get to meet a lot of you, and I get to spend time with some of you that I've become friends with over the years. Like, I genuinely appreciate and value that time. But I really would love to have that awesome hang, go into the building, win, and leave, and like get to hang out more and go, hey, everybody leaves. Every time we're all parked, most of us parked in the same basic area. We could hang out. We can light a grill, eat some hot diggities, a summer sausage. But no, I don't even bring the sausage or the hot ding dongs. I don't do it because I know. I thought we were winning this one, man. I got to be honest. Tyson says it's been 30 years. I know. We went through it. Who was it? Forget which guys it was. Maybe Jay-Z was with me. Forget who it was. But we were having a conversation, and we were going through all the years. We came up with like 10 out of the 42 years I've been a fan. There are like 9 or 10 playoffs in 42 years. And again, it's very rare that we have like a good season and we miss or whatever. It's like we crumble embarrassingly. Robert Saleh in 2022, we were 7-3, dude. We didn't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? That's up. That's just wrong. Oh, there's Jay-Z, right? Hey, what's up, dude? I got to meet Jay-Z, Jet fan. What a cool dude. Who knew? Who knew how cool you were going to be, man? The best part of Sunday was meeting you in person, GreenBean, Team Bean, and Miss Bean. Totally worth being soaked and wet all damn day. I know, that's it. That's what gets me, Jay-Z, is that I got to spend, I mean, we spent some good time together, you and I. There's a lot of people and everything. I try to make sure I chat with everybody as best I can. The rain made it very hard. You know, I set up the PA. We were going to do a whole thing. It was just pouring. I was just concerned about the PA being wet the whole time. I had to put it back in the car. But that's the best part. That's the best part. Hey, Matt Simon, man. I feel like you haven't been around. I feel like I miss you. Salah's not a good head coach. Sorry, look at his record. Again, that's where I am. And it's not like, you know, I'm a supporter of the excuse, the reason I don't think Zach Wilson was very good. But again, when I look at Aaron Rodgers and his receivers being off, there's something going on in the house. Like, you got a bona fide quarterback now. So I'm not removing the fact that I think Zach Wilson is a terrible quarterback. I don't know what he'll be in the future. You never know. I think he was terrible. At the same time, maybe some of those miscues weren't all him. You know what I mean? Because they're happening now. So what's the story? I don't know. Yeah, Jet Freely, my buddy, checking in. The pre-snap penalties are unbelievable. And that is a lack of discipline, dude. The team is not full. Like, look, when you have superstars dropping passes, fumbling the ball, whether it's Brees, Garrett, or otherwise, and you have your offensive line, dude, being on our goal line and having 3 consecutive penalties, 2 of them pre-snap, That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. See, like this right here. Mo, I don't even want this. See, shut up. Shut up, you. I don't want it. You know what I mean? I'll fucking cry. I'll do whatever I want. Don't tell us what to do, you ugly son of a bitch. I don't care what you say. I don't want your positivity either, because it's not. It's veiled. I know what he's doing. And don't get me wrong, you guys know I'll be doing that live stream on Sunday morning, screaming and yelling, rooting for the Jets like I do every single game. The only year in my 42 years rooting for the Jets that I rooted for losses, like really, not at the end of the year, last 2 games, meaningless wins. I do that too. But like the only season I ever said I don't want them to win was the Gase year. I wanted it without question. This guy needs to go. I didn't want him to win a late game. I didn't want any of that potential question about should I keep him. Don't forget, we were still dealing with the Joe Douglas, Adam Gase friendship idea. Remember? Don't forget. I was scared. I did not want Gase here, man. Don't thank him, Dakota. He's a fraud. He's lying to you, man. Dakota's awesome. Oh, Modine, get out of here, you ugly bastard. Let's see what Jason Rack. He's all caps, so I can't ignore it. I don't know what it attracted me. What's up, Jason? He says, if the Solomon Thomas play was successful, we'd all be applauding the creativity, a la Ben Johnson. Just Johnson stuff actually works. You're not wrong, right? You're not wrong. But here's the thing. Ben Johnson's doing stuff like on top of success. Like we need to get our offense going. Like Garrett Wilson has 1 touchdown in 4 games. He's getting 4 or 5 catches for 50 yards a game. We got to get that buzzing before we start doing trick shit with Solomon Thomas. You're not wrong. If it would have worked, we'd be freaking out. I'm right there with you. That doesn't make it a smart call. You know what I mean? The reason that it works in successful offenses is because you're able to confuse the defense. We're not doing that. Like we had 1 really good offensive game. Not to say the Tennessee game was terrible. It wasn't. We did enough. We're fine. I'm not unhappy with it. I don't complain about victories very often. But we looked like shit the whole game yesterday. And we're on the end zone and we're throwing it to Solomon Thomas, a very low percentage play. I don't care how great his hands are for a defensive lineman, if they even are. I don't know. What is that all about? Yeah, I know. There's a silver lining. But to go to can you not just acknowledge the fact that something's wrong? 15 penalties, 13 of which were accepted. They declined the 2 because it was advantageous for them to decline it. Because we lost the down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not good, man. 5 sacks, 14 hits on the quarterback, 15 penalties, 13 accepted, 9 points, no touchdowns. Like, there's nothing to be happy about. I would have been happy. I would have been excited and relieved if we escaped with the victory, because a victory is a victory. But it doesn't remove the concerns. Saleh has everything he needs. This is not on Joe Douglas, as imperfect as certain things might be. I thought he could have bolstered the wide receiver core a little bit more, right, than he did. I would have really liked Malik Washington. As much as I like Isaiah Davis, I would have preferred Malik Washington out of UVA, wide receiver, or any number of guys. Baker. And there's so many guys. So whatever. It's imperfect, but it's like, dude, you can't deny. The reason that the NFL gave us so many primetime games, and the reason that the NFL community, a lot of people are picking us to win the Super Bowl or to go in the playoffs, is because we have the horses. The team is here. We are being miscoached. Like who's calling the Solomon Thomas play when we have Braylon Allen, a 241-pound bruising running back with moves and runs with piss and vinegar, the youngest player in the NFL, youngest legs in the league, and you would rather throw a pass to the defensive tackle. There's something wrong. That's all I'm saying. And if it works, I don't really care, but it's not working. Bishop checking in with his member super chat. Thank you so much for being a consistent supporter of the channel, Bishop. I appreciate it. This is one of the benefits, getting your super chats. Great seeing you on Sunday, Bean. The guy in the great. That was great, Bishop. We ran into each other we were waiting to get on the field, and he said, "Hey," and he pulled up his jersey and he had the Gripe Intelligently shirt. That was music to my soul. I'm with you on Middleton over Ulbricht if they do get rid of Salah. Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't be unhappy. I think Ulbricht is probably the shoe-in. Like, you know what I mean? I think, but my choice is Ron Middleton. That's my guy. Again, I'm not anti-Ulbricht as the head coach. This isn't call. I'm just exploring the idea. I think, I think Ulbricht's probably the guy, but I would be Bishop, and I agree. So we would like to see Ron Middleton, an offensive guy, one of in my mind, one of the good offensive coaches that we have. Somebody with, I believe, fire in his belly, a little bit less afraid to say, "Hey, you, not good enough." Let's see what else we got. Billy's in now. What's up, Billy? Oh, you're talking to somebody. Sorry. I don't want to jump on a half conversation and take it out of context on you. John Gruden. Could you imagine, Sluggo? Could you imagine? I don't know. I don't know if I could imagine it. He didn't do such a good job in Las Vegas or, for Oakland this time around. He didn't do a good job. And taking Ruggs, him and what's his name? Mayock. Him and Mayock taking Ruggs as the first wide receiver in that draft. Like, they passed CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and on and on. Because you know why? Because you can't teach speed, they say. And not to say Henry Ruggs didn't have talent, but dude, give me a break. Give me, GreenBean, give me a break. I'm just so sick of it. Like, everybody, at least it wasn't the Jets, but like, how many years do we see the Jets do shit like that? Like, there's the clear guy. He's the guy. Now, the good news is Joe Douglas a lot of times takes the right pick. A lot of the time, not every time. Like, you guys know, that draft, the 2022 draft, that's one of the arguably the best draft we've ever had. We'll see how it turns out. There's the Mangold, the Brickashaw, Ferguson. There's also the 2000 draft. You know what I mean? So, we'll see how it goes. So far, looking pretty damn good. But my draft that year would have been Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton, George Pickens, and Breece Hall. Not bad myself. Different. I think I prefer Sauce over Kyle Hamilton. I think Sauce is just a stud. Although, did you guys, I don't know if you're on Twitter, did you see my comment to Sauce today? A lot of people didn't like it. He said, "Why is it that whenever I sell my Bitcoin, it goes up? Whenever I hold it, it goes down?" I said, "Because we sat in the stadium in the rain for hours and watched the Jets lose to an inferior team. That's why." People were like, "You shouldn't talk to him like that." I'm like, fuck you. How's that sound? I'll talk to anybody any way I want. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. You know what I mean? It's just like, whatever, dude. I'm the one who sat in the rain. I paid. I didn't get paid. So whatever, dude. He's out there. He's talking. could talk to him. I could say what I want to say. I'm not disrespecting him. I love Sauce. He said, why doesn't my Bitcoin make money? I said, because we sat in the rain for hours and then lost to a team we should have beat. That's why. Not that it was his fault. It wasn't his fault. Okay. I didn't say it was. People got so mad. I said, dude, everybody's got to take a step back. Everybody. We could say what we want. It's what Twitter is. Free speech, everybody. BG the Kid. What's up, dude? Checking in. Thank you. He says, sup, GreenBean. I'm most concerned with our D line. They load up on Quinn and get to the second level and no one else can make a play. I'm with you, dude. And I watched the line. You know, it's hard not to watch ball, like when you're at a game or it's hard. Like, you know, but I do. I watch the line. And I'm telling you, Quinnen's getting no push. He's getting double teamed on 90% of the plays. But like you said, somebody's got to break. If they're using two guys on one guy, that should free somebody. Everybody else is getting singled. And we got to be able to beat somebody. Now, against the Patriots, we did. Against the Titans, we did. I think we got a couple sacks in San Francisco, too. Maybe not. I don't remember. I'm just gone. Forgot. But, you know, somebody's got to take, you know, that's the whole argument for Reddick and why we got rid of Huff and the whole thing. And you get, you know, you let your defensive line leave. You know, look, again, I'm not, JFM, I think, is inconsequential. He was solid for us. I don't know if he moves the needle. Reddick would have, I think. Reddick's a stud, dude. Make no mistake. But whatever. That's bullshit, that whole thing. The guy's under contract. All he had to do is show up. There's nobody on earth that can say this is smart, what he's doing. Unless the only thing that would change it if like he gets traded or the Jets decide to give him 3 years, $25 million a year. All right, then it makes sense. But every week that goes by, it makes less and less sense. So you can argue about Joe Douglas. Joe, look, making a trade for somebody, having an agreement. Again, we don't know the truth of it all, right? But Joe Douglas said, look, we've never changed our position. We had an agreement. They said they would. He did the press conference. He said he would, and he didn't. So I don't know what to tell you. Like any player that you trade for can do that. It can happen anytime. Sure, Joe Douglas has a part to play, no doubt. But he would help. But again, when you look at a guy making this stupid of a financial decision, how much credence do you give his point of view? BG the Kid, I'm with you. Dante checking in. Have you seen Gruden's YouTube channel? Another universe. He would have been a great head coach for the Jets. Yeah, I saw it. It's fun. He's always been a fun guy. You know what I mean? As far as like his way, a lot of people, he rubs people, but he's always been like, you know, remember when he was the youngest coach in the NFL? He was all fiery and running around. He was great. And then they fired him from the Raiders and he went down to Tampa and then played the Raiders, his old team, in the Super Bowl the following year and beat them. That's like crazy town. That hurts. That hurts. So, yeah, I mean, he would have, you know, that's the thing. Like, you know, would you be willing to go and get a guy like that? Go get Gruden. He's a proven offensive mind. I mean, I don't know. Again, he didn't do such a good job with the Raiders, in my opinion. They gave him a 10-year contract, and he had that whole scandal. I mean, look, I don't defend anything. When people do something wrong, it's fine. You can pay you pay the price, you make your bed, you sleep in it, right? But I'm not the biggest fan of finding tweets and emails from 10 years ago. Because, like, you know, you find my shit from another, like, I was a different person. You know, different time too. Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not defending anybody. I don't even really remember. I think his might have been racist or something like that. I forget if it was Me Too. I don't remember the details. But, you know, I'm not defending him. But it's just like, you know, when you look back into people's past and shit, like, dude, yeah, I was an asshole. You know what I mean? I was an idiot. I'm not that person anymore. So I'm not the biggest fan of what we do these days. But if you do wrong shit, you got to pay. So. Hype checking in. Bean, what former offensive coach would you bring back? Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of stumped. Like, I don't love the idea of another rookie head coach that's got to figure it out on our watch. Like, we just keep watching these guys. It's hard. It's a hard market. Can we at least admit that? We're not the easiest place to play, whether it's the unrelenting fans. We are starved and tortured. So our patience level is admittedly low. I get these comments under my videos sometimes, and they're like, Jets fans, you don't like a Green Bay Packers fan. I had a Packers fan check in like under one of my videos this week. And he said, you guys are ridiculous. You don't even know. Relax. You're this and that. And I said, dude, you have zero frame of reference. You have no idea what you're talking about. So get the fuck out of my chat with this garbage. Like, you've had 2 consecutive Hall of Fame quarterbacks who played long careers, and we've gotten them both at the end of their career. Like, I just don't, it's like complaining about, it's like telling somebody who has no shoes to stop complaining when you've had shoes the whole time. You've had the best shoes in the world, the best shoes in the country. You're like, dude, stop complaining. It's like everybody, it's not a big deal to walk with bare feet. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no frame of reference. You can't come here and say that shit to us. Pardon my F-bombs, son. I'm feeling like I'm a little loose with my F-bombs. So I'm sorry. I won't say another one the rest of the show. How's that sound? Wild Wave. Thank you, buddy. He says, if we missed the playoffs, would you bring back JD? I would. I think JD's done his job. That's what I think. Again, not perfectly. I think that last year he was way too lax on the offensive line and wide receiver positions. I was like, what are you doing? And I don't like some of the moves, and I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not like a homer for Joe Doug. I don't love everything he does, but I think there's no question that the team is in place. At some point, it's got to be on the coach. Now, yes, Joe Douglas picked this coach, but it was in his second year as a GM. I don't know. Would he do that again? Maybe he knows a little more now. Again, he was a rookie too. First-time GM. That's what we do. We get a first-time GM, pair him with a first-time coach, and let them pick a first-time quarterback. Like, how many times are we going to do this? How many times are we going to do this? It's the best. We're the best. Mr. Forte likes Kingsbury. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept track. I just know I didn't like him when he was hired. We interviewed him for the job. Remember? He came to the Jets first. He would have taken the job. When we didn't offer him the job on the flight to his interview with Arizona, they hired him. They didn't even interview him. They hired him on the flight. I was like, yeah, I'm with Hennessy. Whoops. I think in the event Saleh is fired at the end of the year, I am 100% Vrabel, even though I preach often. What Vrabel's defense, right? I'm 99% of it, but it's like, I think he's a great coach. I don't know what the hell they were thinking getting rid of him. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't know why they did that. But who knows what the dynamic was, the owners and him and all that. Ben Johnson, yeah, I guess. I mean, he's, impressive. But he's still a rookie. So I don't know. Dante checking back in. Thank you, buddy. He says, want a new head coach? Vrabel is the answer. Yep, there you go. We need a good experience. Right. That's the thing, is that he's done it before, and he did it at a high level. He got fired, yes, but I didn't see why. You look at Vrabel's record, man. It's good. Look at him before he gets there. It's totally different. So I don't know. Irving, I'm with you, Dante. You and me are on the same page, buddy. Irving Padilla. What's up, buddy? He says, GreenBean, if McDaniels gets fired, do you think we should? No. I do not. I do not like him. I think he's I caught myself. I think he's a moron. He did the same thing with the Broncos as he did with the Raiders. Now that's head coach. I hear you. That's not what you're saying, but I think he shows his colors when he has the keys. So were you going to bring that into the house? He doesn't have Belichick to control him. The only success he's ever had is with Belichick. So it's like, I mean, dude, he went to the Broncos. They had a 4,500-yard passer in Cutler, right? It was Cutler in his second year, and he got rid of him. And he replaced him with like Kyle Orton or whatever it was. Like stupid. And then he used a first-round pick on Tim Tebow. Like, and then he gets fired or whatever, and he does the whole thing. Then he reneges on the Colts job. He accepts it and then pulls out. Then he gets the Raiders job. What's the first thing he does? Derek Carr is a 4,000-yard passer every single year. Never had a good defense. Never, you know what I mean? They change his offensive coordinator every 2 weeks. 4,000 yards every year. And the first thing he wanted to do was get rid of him. He brings in Jimmy G. That's his guy because he coached him in New England. They did the same thing. He wanted Castle. Remember? That's who he wanted. And the trade fell through when he had to pivot and go to the Bears and trade Cutler to there and the whole thing. And it's like, it's just, he's an idiot, dude. He's stuck in his ways and he's never proven a damn thing. So I just don't want him in the house. He's a Patriot and I don't like him. So sorry, Irving. Arbiv, what's up, dude? Checking in. Concerned with the poor run blocking from the tight ends. Ruckert not having a strong start all around. I know he's very hot and cold. Like there are plays he looks great. And then he turns around and whiffs on block. I mean, whiffs. I don't know what the deal is with Ruckert. Conklin also had a couple missed blocks too this week. I don't know what it is. I'm with you, man. Like again, it's got to come down to coaching. It's got to. Not to say players have no fault. I'm not saying that. When there are consistent problems, like you got guys missing blocks all over the place. You got guys dropping passes. You got your great players fumbling. You got penalties all over the place. Sloppy mess. Really great, devastatingly terrible. Really good. It's like this. That's what we do. We've done it the last 4 years. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm with you, Arbiv. I'm concerned too. I really am. I just don't know what to say about it. Mr. Forte, I like what Kingsbury's doing in Washington. Yeah, well, I'm with you there. And good to see you, by the way, Mr. Forte. But I will say that Jaden Daniels, he's doing a good job with him. Excuse me, but I thought Jaden Daniels was QB1 for me in this draft, by the way. That's the kid. That's the guy. He's the one. I know Caleb, he's coming out. I want to own the team. Like, I would say, dude, just that comment alone means I can't take you. You know what I mean? Sorry. You've removed yourself from contention for the job. I'm going to be dealing with that baloney. I don't want it. Besides, I don't know. I think Jaden Daniels is better. So, I mean, who is it? You can give him credit, though. I mean, he's probably so the thing is, he had the head coaching experience. It was a failed operation. Goes and he's an offensive coordinator and has a lot of success. That might be the guy. I don't like to hire guys right after their failure. Like, okay, he goes and he simmered, he worked a new job, developed something, had some success. I'd be okay with that. Second time around, like we're the team that people get to make their mistakes. They cut their teeth with us. Sick of it, Mr. Forte. I'm with it. Dante checking back in. I think Irving meant the Miami coach, not Josh McDaniels. Oh, did you? Irving, I'm sorry if that's the case. I went on a diatribe too. Shit, man. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think, look, I mean, his quarterback situation is what we saw, right? Like, so you lose your quarterback and everything goes to hell. I think he's a significantly more talented head coach than we have. I do. I think his offensive schemes are legit. I think he knows how to use talent. Last year, we were all concerned about the concussion thing with Tua. He developed an offense that protected him. Look, Tua didn't get hurt in the pocket. Tua got hurt on a run. He didn't slide. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he deserved it or anything like that, but he put himself at risk. Why? Dude, you're a concussion guy. Slide. So, I mean, I don't know. I think he figured it out. I didn't think Tua was going to make it 4 or 5 games last year. He made it the whole season. Looked great. Now they collapse at the end because that's what Miami does because they're soft. But McDaniels, I don't know. He looks like a good coach to me. If that's the McDaniels you were talking about, Irving, thank Dante. And I apologize. But I think he'd be a better situation than I think he's a good coach. Now he's all Miami with his frilly hair now and all that shit. Wasn't he like bald? He was like balding. Now he's got Miami hair. You know what I mean? He's got sunglasses and shit. He's like all Miami. Come on up here. It's different. It's a different scene. We're not as nice either. Miami fans are very, very fair weather. Like Miami fans, not to say that there aren't legit fans, there are. But by and large, as a community and a fan base, they are very fair weather. Believe me, I live down there. When they start losing, the diehards week 1 by week 6, they're not even paying attention. They're done. They don't go to we stay here. We stay in the stadium and yell at you. There, they just stop showing up. We go, you're ruining my life. Your mother should have aborted you. Like that's the stuff we're saying. Not that I agree with it. But we're different, man. We're a different thing. We'll give you a nervous breakdown, you know? Now, look, I'm still in on this team. I want you to know that. I'm still in on this team. I just think it's very important that we don't take a lax approach to the problems that are evident. They are evident. They are real. They are ever present since Salah's been here. It's time to address them. If you don't, it's going to fucking collapse. There it is. I'm sorry. Can't believe I let it slip. Zach's mom hates us. Damn straight. Nobody hates us like Zach's mom. Not even Zach. And that was flat out wrong. I don't care how much you don't like the player. You do not call his mother and say stuff like that. Call, write, whatever. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? There were people that would do that stuff and then post it on Twitter. Like, look what I did. I'm like, dude, I don't even know. The fact that you had the gumption, your thoughts organized in a way you thought that was the right thing to do, then you did it. Then you still thought it was so good that you showed the world. Like, I would hide my face in the sand. Dante, you're the best. Thank you, man. Do you think the probs with the Jets starts with ownership? I wish we could get a better owner. I think he meddles more than we know. Well, I don't know. Woody seems to. The one thing I'll give Woody is he does seem to pay for whatever we need. I mean, we've seen it with the bad GMs that we have. I think our frugal nature is Joe Douglas. I don't think it's Woody because we've seen Mike McCagnon gave CJ Mosley $5 million more a year than any other line. Not $1 million. He didn't beat it by $1 million, $2 million. He pays the jet tax. Avery Williamson said in an interview last year, he said he was signing with the Colts. And the Jets came in and offered him too much money. He couldn't deny it. He had to take it. He said it was too much. It was so much more than I was being offered. So Woody's willing to pay that. He gives the money to his GMs. I don't know. I mean, he might tinker more than we know. And he definitely tinkered for years there. Don't forget, we had that whole system, and Christopher Johnson utilized it too, which was that the head coach and GM are the same, and they both report to the owner. That is a terrible idea. And they did that, but they stopped it with Joe Douglas. And Joe Douglas is the frugal one. Joe Douglas has said it many times. We have a value. We are aggressive to the point of being reckless, and we don't do it. And he's also said, Woody, not that he would say otherwise, but he has said that Woody has never given him, he gives him the salary cap. Here's what your budget is. Use it as you see fit, sink or swim. He said he's never put a limitation on what I can and can't spend the money on. Joe Douglas is just he's frugal. So with that all said, it is 11:30. That is our 1 hour after hours Jets Fest. 300 people, 179 on Twitter. Twitter's beating YouTube tonight. Very interesting. It's not usually the case. Usually it's the other way around. So 121 on YouTube, 179 on Twitter. So thank you guys for hanging out. We only have 65 milk thumbs. 129 of you are in here on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind smashing that like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that is greatly appreciated. We just passed 12,800. I'd love to hit 13 before we get too far along. That'd be great. I appreciate your hanging out with me. I like this. This is the only show that I do by myself. And you guys, I record videos by myself. This is the only live stream I do, which is me and you. Everybody else, every other stream, I have somebody with me, whether it's the Talking Jets panel with Ryan and Matt, or Dom and Gunny on Thursday, or Jeremy and Frankie on Sundays for the live reaction. This is fun. I don't have any other thoughts but my own. And you, of course, but nobody else chiming in. Just me. So this is my fave. But with that all said, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. I'm tired. I can fall asleep right now. So I'm going to take that opportunity. Let's see. What do we got? I got tomorrow is Wednesday. Oh, me and Tigo hanging out. Armchair GM at 8 p.m. We got the Thursday Thick of It at 8 p.m. all right here. And Sunday, 9. It's a 9:30 game, right? So we'll be together 30 minutes before the game starts. Right here. Got one more from Hennessy we'll get to. Thank you, Hennessy. Saleh needs to make guys run stairs after penalties. He needs to make them do something. Push-ups. Or maybe just sit. Hey, you look tired. Why don't you go sit down? Think. Why don't you call your mom and ask her, why do I suck so bad? What's going on, mommy? Mommy, what's the matter with your son? She'll say, get off your ass. I didn't raise you like that. Whatever it is. But guys, you're the best. Thank you so much. Good night to all of you. And I'll see you. I'll see you next time. Let's get this outro going. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for the Armchair GM is on Talking Jets Network. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do Thursday Thick of It right here. GreenBean Jets fan. Thanks for hanging out. Give me a follow on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube. I'll see you next time.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
He's gonna be in the net. I see some ass on the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody. Dig, drive. You're finished. Hey, first down. He's a weird kid. Worse than that side.
Oh, I should probably end the stream. Hey, good night, everybody.